Greetings everyone, welcome back to Lemex Effects. I'm glad we have gotten this far in the story. Now I can change my method regarding these videos. So today we get to speak about Wakka's character arc up to this point. But first, like and subscribe and share this with others who would be interested in videos like this. Now, let us begin. I suppose before I speak about Wakka's character arc, I must explain what a character arc is. A character arc is how the character changes over time. This is important because the character's change, or lack of one, shows the viewer how to interpret the story. I mean, every story is supposed to teach the viewer something you want the audience to learn, and your character is supposed to be a reflection of how your audience may feel in similar situations. If your character escapes his situation, you have shown the audience what will save them. If your character falls into destruction, you tell your audience what they should not do. Now, in regard to Wakka, his character arc is in line with his hero's journey. The hero's journey is a blueprint many writers use to make a character go through the adventure. Now, normally, whatever the character's character flaw is, that is the thing preventing the character from some goal. However, if throughout the hero's journey the character makes an arc or a change, then he might get different results. Let's see that in action. Wakka was a young boy when his parents were killed by Sin, but amidst the destruction, he found his little brother. Since then, he determined to protect his brother as his parents would have.
Hey, Wakka, remember that time? Nah, you probably forgot. Something I told you back when we were kids, yeah? There's a sphere on the island, I said. Showing Mom and Dad. I lied. Truth is, there's no such sphere. I'm sorry. Back then, you'd lecture me no matter what I did. Someone has to keep you in line, yeah? I guess I was kinda bitter. That's why I made up that story about the sphere.
If you got time to take pictures, you got time to pray. Especially since you're joining the Crusaders.
Enough with the preaching.
Someone has to keep you in line with our parents not around.
Knock it off with the surrogate parent thing and give us both a break. I just need you to be my brother.
His brother, yeah. I don't know why he just couldn't come out and say it.
He tried to keep his brother in line, to keep him alive. After all, why else would you be so hard on someone? To restrict them and be stoic to the people you love. You do that because you don't want to lose them. If they learn discipline, maybe they will survive. Hebrews chapter 13 verse 17. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy, and not with grief, for that is unprofitable to you. So, Wakka gave himself to prayer, since he was a little kid, and he focused on blitzball, Spear's pastime. Yet, in 10 years, he never won one game. But his brother, Chapu, went to fight Sin. He did it to protect Lulu. Meanwhile, Wakka continued to play. Wakka gave him a sword to protect himself. After all, the strict and religious Wakka wants to keep his brother safe, right? But Chapu didn't use it. Neither did he pray on the day he left. Surely, Wakka felt rejected. But Wakka could do nothing but go back to blitzball. Then, one day, he got word that his brother was dead. And with that information, in the blitzball sphere, he couldn't play his hardest. He couldn't focus, and he lost again. To Wakka, he tried his hardest to teach his brother, to keep him alive, to keep him away from Sin, figuratively and literally. But figuratively and literally, Sin found him and took Chapu, his only family. So, Wakka went to fight Sin, to avenge his brother. But how can he have confidence that he could be a good guardian? He couldn't even protect his brother. He couldn't even win a stupid blitzball game. How can he guard a summoner to defeat Sin? This, in the hero's journey, is called the known world. It is a place Wakka begins when we met him. In his mind, he is a failure. He doesn't know any success. He's lost everything he ever cared about, and his faith is destroyed. This is the world he knows. But one day, Wakka meets Titus, a young man who looks just like Chapu. Sounds like him too. And he can play well. Maybe, just maybe, this could be his chance at victory. Just once. But at this point, Wakka's faith was almost zero. Wakka did all he could, and he still lost. So to protect his mind from depression, he told himself,
I don't care how we do, long as we play our best. If we give it our all, I can walk away happy.
"You did your best," he tells himself. And his heartbreaking mindset was passed down to his teammates, a ragtag group of losers and undesirables. What could he say to them except the same thing he told himself? What else could he say but
To do our best!
Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and verse 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of a city is, so are all they that dwell therein. But Titus is different. Titus says they can win. This man who thinks and sounds just like Chapu. It's like Chapu had come back from the dead to cheer him on. And not only that, but to fight beside him.
No. If I say what's our goal, you say victory. When you play in a blitzball tournament, you play to win.
Proverbs chapter 12 verse 25. Heaviness in the heart of man maketh it stoop, but a good word maketh it glad. Invigorated, Wakka decided that day to believe in himself. He would change and become a different man. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. And just as he said to himself, if Titus said he can win, I believe in him, so his team thought, if Captain Wakka says we can win, we believe in him. This is the turning point. A turning point is anything in the story that changes the direction of how things are going. If the character is winning, the turning point ushers in a season of losses. If the character is losing, the turning point makes him a winner. This specific turning point is the call to adventure. Titus is calling him to change his life and fight to win. This is the beginning of Wakka's true journey. On the way to Kilika, they are attacked by Sin, and Titus is knocked overboard. Wakka sees that his new brother's gone, and while Titus is pivotal to his success in the game, Wakka truly thought, I already lost one brother, I'm not losing another. So he goes to save Titus. John chapter 15 verse 13. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. And he wins. While before he could not save Chapu, he did save Titus. It was his first real victory, the victory over the Threshold Guardian. The Threshold Guardian is the first main obstacle in Wakka's goal. It threatens to take from him the thing that set him on his journey. If he doesn't overcome, he'll be right back where he started. But Wakka did overcome. He did not lose faith and give in to sorrow. He put his all into saving his friend, and now he can journey into the unknown world. When Wakka meets the goers in Kilika, they tell him he shouldn't even bother showing up to the game. Even all of Luca saw him as a loser and were embarrassed to be associated with him. Although he told Titus not to worry about it, it got to Wakka, to the point that he was stressed at the thought of Titus not being there for the first match. But all that didn't matter, because Yuna was kidnapped. So Wakka had to fight with all his might. He had to hold out and endure. Even without Titus, he couldn't let the Albed win. So even though he was battered and bruised, when he got the chance, he scored a victory. His first win in 10 years. This is a stage called Trials and Temptation. It's near the midpoint of the story, where challenges try to stop the hero from getting the gold. However, it's not enough to give your hero any random challenge. You must give your hero challenges that reflect what his problems are. What is the character flaw that causes problems? What needs to be fixed? Whatever that is, that's what your temptations are. Ecclesiastes chapter 2 verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. If your problem is patience, and you want to fight everyone who makes you mad, your patience will be tested until you have it. If you have pride, your humility will be tested. Wakka lacked faith, so his faith was tested every step of the way. This is the lowest point before the climax, the abyss. Wakka is so close to beating those goers, but he is too injured to play. As much as he wants to win the game himself, or at least to be a part of it, he knows he can't go out there. He gave it his all. If Titus can take the team to victory, he can live with that. But throughout all this time, Wakka has shown himself faithful. Throughout all the challenges, he kept trying. After 10 years of constant defeats, he kept trying. Even when life had beaten him down to the point that he could barely stand, he never gave up. He fought and endured and did what no one thought he could. He won. He showed great character and leadership and showed himself as a true friend and was faithful until the very end. It's not what he did once. He was faithful consistently. So even if everyone only met him now, they could see it. And when you see it,
everyone seems to be calling for Wakka, folks! Say, where is that player going? He's leaving the sphere pool! He may be injured.
To be honest, I did kind of feel left out. But it really was the Oryx and Wakka show after all.
I wonder what's happening. The crowd is going wild. Ah, it's Wakka. He's back on the field and ready to go. The Aurochs seem glad to have him back.
Proverbs chapter 14 verse 28. In the multitude of people is the king's honor, but in the want of people is the destruction of the prince. Wakka's diligence and honor are rewarded, as now all people chant his name. Everyone is behind him, as if he is a king going to battle. 1 Samuel 2 and 8. He raised up the poor out of the dust, and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he set the world upon them. Whereas Wakka was regarded as little more than dust, than dung, now he is set as a king. Now he is fully changed, and he inspires his team to fight toward victory. Luke 22:32. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. It's funny, because many say they have faith, that they are intelligent, but they never study. Yet I work from my grades in school. They say they have faith that they can get a good job, and they don't apply. I work to learn, to apply, and to impress. Some even say they have faith in God, but because they believe they can do no good, they don't keep any commandments, but I work to keep them all. James 2:18, yea, a man say, Thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. And Wakka showed his faith. He recruited a new player. He trained, he fought, and now he won. At the end of his journey, he returns to his world of fighting sin. But he's no longer Wakka, the man who loses everything. Now he is Wakka, the world champion.
Unbelievable! The Aurochs win, folks! This is one for the record books!